Learning and development is an important department in any organization. It is the department responsible for shaping the skills of its workforce. What could be more better than having someone from a learning and development department to begin with our first podcast interview? Hi, I am Algira Pereira from IRA Inspirations, and at IRA we celebrate the celebrities next door. Are you a celebrity next door? Watch till the end to find out.
Hi, welcome to our very first podcast of Learn, Lead, Learn. Today we have Paul Vavagiri, a seasoned corporate trainer, winner of Asian Education Award 2023 and Academic Excellence Award for extraordinary service and contribution to teaching. Paul, welcome to our podcast, and I would like to introduce yourself to our audience.
Thank you so much, Algira, for this opportunity that you have given me today. And thank you for that warm introduction. So, who am I? I am definitely a trainer. And as I always say, that training is not my job or my career. Either it's my profession or my passion, it's my calling. So I have lived this calling for 26 years as a career in two parts. The first part being in academics, so that was nearly 14 years, and then rest of the 10, 11 to 12 years it has been in the hospitality industry. So that's a short snippet about myself, and that's me, Annie Paul Vamagiri.
Wow, that's impressive. So, Andy, how did you get into this profession? What made you come into training and then to hospitality training?
Well, very recently, while I was, being coached by my book coach, I came to this realization that my roots were beyond my, graduation days. My roots were in my childhood. As a kid, I remember I used to collect these old notebooks and write questions and write answers. And some places I would write wrong answers. And in the end, I would collect all those notebooks and start correcting them. And I know as a kid, I had this. I enjoyed taking things in control, like they were in my control. I liked, being the person who was giving those tick marks, and I think somewhere it started from there. And when I grew up, I and everybody was going behind engineering and medicine, I wanted to be different, and I wanted to do something where nobody else was trying to go. And that, in those days, and I'm talking in the 1990s, where hotel management was a course that was introduced. So I insisted that I want to do that course. And today, yes, it's been 26 years that I am living both the dreams or passion or whatever we call it. One is being a trainer, that means teaching, and the other one is choosing that what nobody else was choosing, that's hotel management. So I think it both worked very well with me. So if you ask me when did it start, it definitely started as a child. That's what I remember.
Wow, that's very inspiring, in fact. This takes me to our next question. Like, what necessary things do we need to have in order to become a corporate trainer?
Very valid question. um, Now, in these days, being a corporate trainer or heading a corporate brand, um, it's definitely a lot of people aspire to become. But what it takes is the choice that you make for this profession. It shouldn't be something that you land on by chance, and that but it should be a choice you have made. So I tell all the trainers that I have around me that, or even when I interview them, or my own trainers that I have in my brand, like, do you choose to be a trainer? So the day you make a choice to be a trainer, that's the only criteria I would say is needed. Rest follows. Rest is just a journey.
I'm sure, yes, indeed it is. What are the challenges that you faced to reach to this position, and what do you think will be the challenges if a normal person would like to get into this profession?
Um, Challenges, what I can think is only yourself. That's the only thing comes your way as a trainer. It's when you're not prepared, when you do not feel for the people sitting in front of you, when something else gets your way. uh, Rest, that I think that's the only challenge I can think of as a trainer. Otherwise, people are so open to learnings. I've never had those sessions where people were not interested. I never have those kind of organizations where people never wanted to be trained. Everybody's hungry for knowledge. Everybody's looking for learning something new. It's only that we do not have those trainers who are ready to train people. So if you ask me challenges that anybody as a trainer would face, is that they themselves. But if you're prepared, it's the world is an audience. You will get your learners, you will get your platforms, you'll get your sessions, and everything gets a smoother walk then. And to overcome that challenge of preparing yourself is the patience. Have the patience to build yourself, because to become a trainer, it is not doing some, there are no courses to become trainers, by the way, because it's a field work. It's every day's training that you have to do it, and you have to do it consistently. You cannot I just relate it to going to a gym. When you go into your fitness, you're building your body. You have to be consistent there. You have to invest your time, and very much like a trainer's skill, you have to be there in the field, working, training people, making mistakes, constantly upgrading yourself. So it's the training of your mind, body, and soul. So that's what I sum up. One challenge is yourself, and how to overcome that challenge is to continue to go on and on and on, and not giving up on yourself.
I really like your answer. Challenge is yourself. Yeah, but in today's world that we see a lot of jobs are being overtaken by AI. Do you think learning and development department also will be affected by this?
uh, I have been doing this a very undercover survey about how much people are comfortable learning from a system and versus learning from a trainer. And in my this which is not a data that I'm saving anywhere, but majorly I've noticed that people are more comfortable learning from other human being, you know because I strongly believe learning is not only for the mind. It's not 1 + 1 2, but it has those five senses, and those five senses are possible to be transferred only through an human connection. And I think, yes, I am totally for AI, and I believe it's a great tool to make our job much easier. But in the field of training, a trainer of a real trainer, an in-person trainer, really is more effective rather than an AI that you cannot relate to, you cannot feel for. So I just read there somewhere, and I want to say this, that you will not be replaced by AI. You will be replaced by someone who knows AI. So
Yes.
as a trainer, our caution is only one: be a trainer who knows AI, who knows how to use AI, and then you don't have to fear anything.
You have written it somewhere in one of your contents. I'm not very sure if it is LinkedIn or some other social media. It is mentioned that training is a leadership skill. How do you, can you enlighten us about this?
So what I had said that training is more than a department, it is a leadership behavior, which means that a trainer's responsibility in hospitality in a hotel or a resort is not confined to four walls. It is outside that. And when I say that, I also mean that it is not the sole responsibility of a trainer to train the team, but it is a responsibility of all those leaders out there who have a team. So which means, does it make become difficult for these leaders to acquire this skill of a department? Definitely not, because I find there is a link between everything that the trainer does. So simple, they are so easy to do that a leader can acquire those skills. And today's world needs more trainers. So why hire more when we have the leaders themselves who are so connected to the team? They're working with them on the floor, and if they can use a trainer skill and turn it into a behavior for themselves, it's we can get out of those four walls. So this is what I mean, that as a hotel or as a company or as an organization, we should not totally depend on one person or one department. When I say one person, is because there is always one or maximum two people in a department called training, and we should share the responsibility, because as you also said that post covid things have changed. People are looking for more learning, people are wanting to grow, and we need more trainers. So why not the leaders? And it is possible to acquire these trainer skills by the leaders today.
Does that mean that are we going in a direction of elimination of training as a department and make our leaders into a trainer?
Wow, I really like what you said, but uh, I wouldn't say elimination. I would say that establishment of training department in every department. So it's not eliminating, but it is um, distributing. That's what I would, or sharing the responsibility.
Sharing, yes, yes.
Yes. Yeah,
That's right. We would still need the training as a department, and then we share our responsibilities with leaders to make it a better place.
absolutely.
Um, how how challenging will it be for you to train a leader? Because leaders will always think, "I know everything. Who are you to teach me?" There are most of the people who are at that particular level who doesn't like to learn after a certain age. How do you think it will be challenging or easier? How will you take it?
I defer to agree or rather disagree on this entire this thought process that's going around, that leaders are not eager to learn. What I've noticed while I have dealt with lot of leadership team is that they are eager to learn, but they need to know the why. The moment their why is answered, I think it everyone just knows finds they find their own ways and their time to indulge in learning. So the moment you have explained that why to them, that why as leaders they should train their own team rather than calling somebody from outside, and the connect that they have the team is closer than somebody who is coming from outside. So the moment they understand that the why, they know the answers to those whys, they will be ready. So I have seen those leaders who get on to training the team. And usually, when you attend their briefings, their meetings, we notice a trace of a trainer in every leader. I've noticed that they want to explain this. They simplify data. They make an environment of learning for them. So there is a trace of a behavior existing in every leader. Only thing is we do not name it as a trainer skill. So the moment you just tap on that behavior in a leader, it's done. So the one responsibility of a hotel's training manager or a head of learning and development is to answer the why. That means why a leader must become a trainer for their own team rather than depending on one department or one person or someone who is not connected to the department. And I think things will be different.
Yes, and today's world is all about keeping oneself updated and keeping oneself learned, no matter what position that person is, whether
Absolutely.
it's a leader or whether it's an associate.
Right.
Would you like to share any such kind of aha moment, like a example, a scenario where you have found a leader being a trainer in a moment?
Absolutely. The moment you said aha moment, I just remember one particular person. And this is in one of the organization while this particular person was heading a department and he was moved to head a hotel. So we had these three cluster properties around us, and he was moved to this property of uh, you know 92 rooms, and 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 the first thing he did was he approached me and he said, Annie, I am going to handle some 200 colleagues, and this is a new job for me and I want to connect with all of them. What can we do? And I we had a lovely discussion around over a cup of coffee, and we were just chit chatting and we were just saying, okay, we'll do this, that, and we had a lot of ideas put in together. And then we came up with an initiative wherein I was supposed to just facilitate and he wanted to be the trainer. And he said that, and the only reason where people will connect with me is when I stand in front of them as a trainer and not as a leader. And trust me, it's been 3 years now, and we both still talk about it. That time where I stepped down as a trainer and became a silent leader, he took a step up to become a trainer from being a leader, and that's where I it was an aha moment for me that yes, as a leader, when you take that switch your role, and I remember what he said was that as a trainer they will relate better with me rather than if I go as a leader. Okay, so that's my story, and I think that's what most of the leaders can do today is we don't have to be managers and leaders all the time. Just become a trainer one day and see there would be magic around you.
Wow, that was such a beautiful memory. Would you like to tell us, like, what are the different types of hospitality trainers do we have?
Hmm. Different types of hospitality trainers. um All right, I can, think of few. Let's see how many I can count them. So one is someone who has a very strong academic background, like me. Okay, so I'm balanced between academics and operations. So in fact, I started with the academics. I did my hotel management, started with academics, and then I moved into operations, and then I learned the operations part. Then so you have that set of people, trainers, and then you have trainers who have just gotten because they just had nothing but passion. They had no experience, no academics, uh, nothing. They were just there because they just listened to their heart. And as time passed by, they became what they wanted to become, and they became seasoned trainers. Then I see a set of trainers who are totally operational. They just know the operations very well, but they don't know the academics part, meaning they do not know the group dynamics of training. and then they learn it, and they learn it by training, training, and training. It's only by practice. And then there are these fourth sets of trainers who are totally disconnected. And I would not want any such trainers existing. I really hope they find their own passion and move out. But yes, those trainers also exist who are there because they haven't found their passion and they're just trainers around. And which for me is not a very good sign. But the first three that I've told you are very yeah, they are those classic examples of trainers, and they really do very well. In my experience, I have seen some of them shine out, and the other one, the fourth one, definitely fades out. But sadly, some damage is done. But then end of the day, they have also put in their efforts. They work hard, they stress out, and they also kind of contribute. So we are grateful for them as well. But the first three, I would just say that if any one of you find yourself in any one of the three paths, go on, you are the one. But if you find very stressful and you do not find the passion in training, you definitely have passion somewhere else. But thank you very much for your contribution. So these are my four types of trainers that I find around myself.
Would you like to name such kind of trainings that you conduct, being a leader and a trainer, to your training team, and such kind of training which you conduct for leaders as well? So two such examples.
So two examples of trainings, you mean to say?
Yes, name the training that you conduct for trainers and you conduct for leaders to be trained.
Yes, so there is, we have at Atmosphere, we have Train the Trainer program. And this is for trainers. So we build trainers, and our program is a very simplified version. As I always use this word simple, it's always to keep things super simple. It is for 2 days though. It takes you through a very intensive practice sessions. There's very less part of theory, but a lot of practice from the part of the learners. And this is the training module where we build trainers, and we have upgraded this. We have taken a one step up. So Train the Trainer program exists, and then we have a group trainer techniques program also that we have created, and this is for the leaders. So if you're a leader who is making presentations, you want to share an information through PowerPoint presentation by classroom in a classroom environment, and or you want to conduct some gap analysis, and then you design some training modules. So this is the training that we have it for the leaders and who have already got certified as a trainer. So yes, these are the two training that I can talk about, and they are designed definitely from the experience, from things around, and very specifically for our organization, and they are a super hit and people love it. So yeah, these are the two that I would like to share about.
Thank you. A shout out to all our listeners out there. I'm sure you all are enjoying the conversation and have gained an immense amount of knowledge out of this conversation. Stay tuned for more. We have much more coming up. That brings me to another question. Um, as a leading corporate trainer in the hospitality industry, do you see that there is a scope for this kind of a role in future?
Absolutely, yes. As long as people exist, as long as the same people are eager to learn, you would need a trainer. You name it corporate trainer, you call them head of learning and development, you call them um, director of training, or whatever designations we call them. End of the day, yes, people need trainers, and so it will always be in fashion. So it will exist 100%.
Agree with you that we do need a lot of trainers in future, because as we see that hospitality industry is growing immensely, especially after COVID. We would be needing good number of corporate trainers in this hospitality industry. What is that one key takeaway message you would like to give to our listeners?
One key message I want to give to the trainers out there is be a game changer. And you know you have it in you, just let it out. Because one thing which is uniquely different about us as trainers is that we know how to simplify data. This world is all turning into data sensitive. We are talking about so much of data around us. And if there is someone out there who can simplify that data into readable, understandable, or relatable information, then what else you need? And we can do it as trainers. So be a game changer. That's what I want to say to all the trainers out there.
Wow, what a theme. I'm sure a lot of our listeners have taken a very good message out of this particular podcast, and it has been really informative as well. Um, Before I could wrap up, I would like to thank you for being a part of this podcast today. And I'm sure we will have many more conversations on different topic, of course. Look forward to having you again.
Thank you so much, Elvira, for this time that you have given to me. It's truly a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.